The Madman! Welcome to another set of Savior of Uldum cards. We are very close to seeing the whole set. Let's take a look at a few of the really strong cards offered this time around. The Mortuary Machine, 5 mana 8/8 mech. After your opponent plays a minion, give it Reborn. On 5 mana, you usually should get somewhere along the 6/6 stat line in order to be competitively viable. This is 2/2 overstatted. The slight downside is every card your opponent is going to play will have Reborn. That could be really bad, especially since your turn 5 Mortuary Machine could be matched with your opponent's turn 5 Ziliax. Ziliax with Reborn, let me tell you, that's a real pain to deal with, and it's going to be a variety of decks that your opponent's going to be playing. Sometimes they'll have Ziliax, sometimes they'll have Death Rattle cards. Sometimes they're going to be playing a Zoo deck or a Murloc deck, and they'll play multiple minions and get multiple Reborns. Once your opponent plays something like 2 minions, they've broken even on Mortuary Machine, and then if they play even more than that, they went ahead, and it's just too dangerous overall. There's a few options on making this good. Silence it, discover it with Dr. Boom Mad Genius really late, when your opponent has almost no cards. If your opponent has no cards, they can't play a minion, lol. Or face deck, this drawback is bigger than Fel Reverse and bigger than Bittertide Hydras, but still an option. Shadow of Death, 4 mana rogue spell. Choose a minion, shuffle 3 shadows into your deck that summon a copy when drawn. This card reminds me a lot of Faldori Strider. Shadow of Death will certainly be aiming to copy something better than just a 4/4. This is some really slow value though. It lacks the 4/4 body of Faldori Strider. And you need to have a minion on the board to actually play Shadow of Death even. You could copy your opponent's minion. Generally, their minion isn't going to be that good, but sometimes it is. There's some pretty crazy combos you can pull with this too. First step, draw out your deck. Second step, Leroy, Augmentedelic, Preparation Shadow of Death on Leroy, Preparation Shiv on the opponent's face. You draw a card, you draw all the shadows from Leroy because your deck was empty and all the shadows draw another card. So you'll copy Leroy total of 5 times, meaning you'll have 6 Leroys on the board because one board slot is filled with Alec. And then you hit for 36. So that's a combo. Bone Wraith, 4 mana 2/5 Taunt Reborn. This is like one of the most exciting common cards to grace the sets. It's Sludge Vulture, except it costs 1 less mana. That's insane. This card, 4 mana, 1 less, and all you have to do is have 1 less attack. And the Reborn is a 2/1 instead of a 1/2. If you're lowering a popular card's mana by 1, and only lowering by 1 stat, that is actually insane. To top that off, the Reborn can be healed also. Seems like it would go in the classic decks that Sludge Vulture was good in, which is a number of things, from control, to value, to mid-range, to even like anything that wasn't super aggressive. Of course, this looks to be one of the best neutral Reborn cards, so it'll certainly go into the Reborn deck if the Paladin quest takes off. It's got Taunt, so Taunt Warrior maybe? Here's a really insane card. Pharaoh Cat. Rogue 1 mana 1/2 beast. Battlecry, add a random Reborn minion to your hand. Let's compare this with Firefly, both 1 mana 1/2s that add a card to your hand. Firefly always gets you a 1 mana 1/2. Pharaoh Cat gets you a box. What's in the box? A Reborn card. How good are the Reborn cards? Well, that's gonna depend on like how good the Reborn cards are, but clearly Bone Wraith is really good. Most of the other ones we've seen so far, they're all pretty good. Generous Mummy might be the womp womp loser, but there's only one Generous Mummy. So the question is, would you rather have one of those Reborn cards, or would you rather have a 1 mana 1/2? And nobody wants a 1 mana 1/2. The Pharaoh Cat is insane. But wait, that's not all. Reborn cards can even come from other classes, such as Priest and such as Warrior. So that could activate your Underbelly Fence and your Vendetta. You can finally curve turn 1 into turn 2 Fence, possibly. And wait, that's not all. It's a 1 mana card, which means it can activate all of your combos as Rogue. Tomb Warden, 8 mana 3/6 Warrior, Mech. Uh-oh. Taunt, Battlecry, summon a copy of this minion. So this is potentially good in the Taunt Warrior deck, because if you buff this card, you're getting 2 benefits from the buff. Imagine if this card summoned 2 5/8s, that's quite a wall. What if it summoned 2 7/10s? This could be the big thing that Taunt Warrior was looking for. But other than that, the fact that it's a mech is really spooky, and that Dr. Boom Mad Genius has an increased chance of discovering this, and this is a really good late game card. So much value. I think you're going to see this discovered all the time with Dr. Boom Mad Genius. So with Tomb Warden, we'll finally ask ourselves, is Taunt Warrior good enough? Is a Taunt package in Warrior good enough? Or do we only see this card through Dr. Boom Mad Genius, in which case this is still insane. And of course Omega Assembly. And of course the Flunky card. Even if it doesn't make the cut in deck construction, it'll be seen in games. And I'm not even saying that this card is bad in deck construction. Embalming Ritual. Priest 1 mana spell, give a minion reborn. Oh my god, what is that? Is that the Pharaoh cat? By the way, Pharaoh cat is not a good target to play this on. This is a great target on death rattles, such as Evil Conscriptor, in which case it's something like 1 mana, get a 2/1, and get a lackey. That's pretty good. So clearly you want to play this on death rattle cards. We're going to see if a deck like that exists. Not enough priest cards out there to really know what the priest theme is for this set yet, but combined with the earliness of Psychopomp, it looks like this could be a theme for getting some sort of early death rattle deck going. If we just see a powerful neutral or priest death rattle, Psychopomp plus Embalming Ritual could be enough to like feed that engine. And we do have one already, Evil Conscriptor, but we're looking for like more. Paladin gets Pharaoh's Blessing. Give a minion +4/+4, Divine Shield, and Taunt. The first thing everyone did when they saw this 6 mana spell was compare it with Spike Ridge Steed. How does +4/+4 Divine Shield, Taunt, compare with +4/+12 in Taunt? Well, it turns out that Spike Ridge Steed is slightly better. A lot better. That's not to say that Pharaoh's Blessing doesn't have its advantages. If you play it on a medium card and you trade it immediately into a big card, you're getting a huge benefit. This card is also comparable with Blessing of Champions. Giving a minion plus attack and Divine Shield at the same time has proven to be pretty powerful. This, though, is 6 mana. That just might be too much mana. Good card to play on Immortal Prelate. You would definitely be praying for a no silence meta in that case, and Prelate has not seen play at all. Conjured Mirage, 4 mana 3/10. Taunt, at the start of your turn, shuffle this minion into your deck. Really interesting effect. It's a card that stalls for a turn. Whether it stops your opponents from attacking because they don't want to take 3 damage on their minions by killing the Conjured Mirage, or the Conjured Mirage just, is there for a turn and then goes back into your deck. Either way, that serves your stalling purpose. It's a lot like Frost Nova for neutral, but different in the sense that your opponent can actually more likely be able to interact with a kill spell on Mirage or just dealing the Mirage damage. Could definitely see this in a deck similar to the Shirvala OTK deck, which ran timeout just to stall. Many decks could run Conjured Mirage just to stall. These types of stalling effects tend to only be important in combo-oriented decks, decks that plan on doing a lot of damage really fast, so I don't predict this to be in Control Warriors, but if a combo deck arrives, Conjured Mirage could certainly be one of the tools in helping the combo deck get to the late game. I don't think much of this as an anti-fatigue card, because your opponent can just kill it. Flame Ward. It's the Mage Secret, 3 mana. After a minion attacks your hero, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. So we were looking to see what the Mage Secret is going to be in the new set alongside the 2 Secret Lover cards. And is Flame Ward going to be the secret that carries Mage? Note that it's a little different than Explosive Trap in that it's after a minion attacks your hero. So you will take damage. It also does not deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. It also does not trigger when a weapon attacks you. Given that Explosive Trap was run, and it was one of the top 5 secrets for Hunter, I would definitely see Flame Ward as a very possible secret to run, especially in a Secret Mage deck if that takes off. Subject 9 would be happy to fetch at least 1 copy of Flame Ward, I'm sure. And finally, we are going to end on a doozy of a card. It's Siamat. 7 mana 6/6 elemental, Battlecry, gain 2 of Rush, Taunt, Divine Shield, or Wind Fury, your choice. So super flexible card. But wait, that's not all. If this card only said 7 mana 6/6 Divine Shield Rush, it would already be insane because that's better than Firelands Portal. Firelands Portal only dealt 5 damage And the 6/6 is going to be far above the average of the 5 cost that you would summon. A neutral Firelands portal, that seems ridiculous. I actually could see this card in very many decks. Even more sick than that though, he's rather flexible. Are you about to die? You can pick Taunt Divine Shield. Are you really far ahead? You can pick Divine Shield Wind Fury. Are you desperate to remove some cards? You can pick Rush Wind Fury. Even if you compare this with base cards out there, Tiamat pretty much compares favorably to everything out there. If you're playing something that can take advantage of Tiamat's high mana cost, such as an Evolution or a Conjurer's Calling, Rush Wind Fury is really good as well. Take out 2 minions, have Tiamat be at 1 health, and then Conjurer's Calling him. The current Mana Cyclone mages already run Elemental Evocation for their Mana Cyclone. I have to imagine they would run Tiamat for sure, because you can Elemental Evocation out Tiamat, and then you can even Conjurer's Calling Tiamat after you've made your trades. So many insane cards this time around. This set is actually shaping up to look really strong. We've got one more day of a 6-card reveal, and then we have the official card reveal stream where everything will be shown. So looking forward to that day. It's gonna be an exciting week. Keep staying tuned.